All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be checking out with you guys this ZT0393, but hey, first of all, I need to thank my buddy Branding for sending this guy along, so I'm able to share my impressions with you. And second of all, don't forget to like this video and don't forget to smash that subscribe button right over there if you are enjoying this kind of stuff that I'm bringing to you. So let's quickly check the size on this bad boy, because the overall length on this one is going to be 8.25 inches, which are exactly like 21 centimeters. Blade length is going to be 3.5 inches of cutting edge, equivalent to 9 centimeters, and the handle from this point to this point is going to be 4.9 inches. That are going to correspond roughly to 12.3 centimeters. And let's quickly check this guy out and up against a couple options. Here you have the Ontario Red number 1 and the little brother Ontario Red number 2, and you're going to see that the ZT just sits in between these two options, and maybe you have some Benchmade around in your collection. And here you have the bag out and the little brother right over here, the mini bag out, and you can see, yeah, ZT, it's a bigger boy compared to these two, but we know these are not that big. Here you've got Spyderco Para 3, and of course you've got the Paramilitary 2 right up there, and you can notice that they're quite comparable in size, very similar indeed. Let me show you another couple options. Here you have Chris Reeve knives, small Sebenza 21, and of course the bigger brother, that's going to be the large Sebenza 21. And see, this is like a little bit bigger than that, but there's a more cutting edge on the large Sebenza. Of course, this guy is going to be just smaller. What can I show you? Of course, we got to show you like an XM18. In this case, you've got a nice one with no flipper tab, and of course, just for the sake, because this same designer, you've got the Hinderer Eclipse. And if you go a little bit higher up in range, you can check, for example, this guy over here, Shirogorov F3 in a beautiful micarta handle. And what else can I show you? Another one, another Shiro, because that's the Kami flipper. It's a little bit smaller, but I just happen to love that. And what else can I show you? A couple fancy ones, sure, why not? Because we are talking about Shiro, yeah, Shiro Custom Division NL Neon, and look at this, that's it, done. That's the Arius by Koenig Knives, and that's the style 55, by the way. So what we have here is a pretty cool ZT. It's the 0393, designed by Rick Hinderer. We've got a titanium frame lock in a nice package. It's nice and colorful, blue anodized. You've got a G10 sculpted overlay scale. I mean, it's halfway between like a scale and an overlay, because this is technically, I would say, like a frame lock, but can also be defined like a liner lock. If you call these liners, sure, I mean, but at the end of the day, I don't know, just let me know in the comments. Also, I mean, it's nicely done. You can also check my disassembly video to see how this guy is on the inside and how to take this guy apart. And it's very interesting because it's pretty cool. It's pretty solidly made. It's a nice one. I like it. At first, to be honest, I wasn't impressed by the look of it, but I mean, it looks pretty cool, I have to say. When it's closed, it's nice. You've got this flipper tab sticking out, but it's all right. There's some jimping on this side, which you see, like, you can't really take advantage on the jimping like here, because like push button like this, it's not gonna work. So you have to be a little bit more like that and do the push button, but it's not gonna be super comfortable. So the light switch option would be preferred, at least by me. And then you've got as I said, a nice blue anodization going on. This is not the stock clip, and also the screw, it's a little bit different, but just don't worry about that. And also the screw, I mean, this is not as you're gonna get it from factory, but still the impressions are gonna be the same. You've got some nice chamfering going on around the titanium slabs, a little bit of internal chamfering. There's no internal skeletonization going on. You have beautiful two finger grooves like that, and this nice dimple here, which is gonna be like just perfectly wrap. Your hand is gonna just perfectly wrap around the handle like that. It's really cool. And then you've got two standoffs over here, blacked out. There is no lanyard hole option. In this case, you can probably, I don't know, wrap around the standoff, I guess, but yeah, it's not like probably intended for that. And then you got a pretty perfectly centered blade, and that's safely recessed, so you're not going to be able to touch it or anything. Pretty cool look overall when closed. You know, you have this G10 sculpted overlays with this wavy pattern, and just, you know, it gets thins on the inside and then just follows the outline of the handle, and it's matched on both sides, so that's pretty cool. You've got yeah, like a stick-in flipper tab going on, but that's like, you know, if it's meant for first responders, something like protruding that much would be pretty accessible if you're wearing like thick gloves or something like that, so it's gonna be pretty good. You've got a captive pivot, which is held captive in the nuts, like here on the back with the overlay, so nice solution over here, so you're not going to need any tools to take this guy apart. That's pretty good. Also, like, taking down this guy is going to be a breeze. Very simple. Just remove the clip, remove the overlays, and you have a couple screws right down underneath this, and you're going to be pretty much set to clean it up, lube it up, and maintain it to your liking. So that's pretty simple to take care, and you can also check my video if you're curious to know how that is done. You also have an internally screwed stainless steel lock face insert because of the titanium meeting the steel at this point of contact could create some lock stick, but none because of the insert. Which is also like this this overlay. It's also acting as a over travel stop for the lock bar, so you're not going to be any issues in overextending the lock bar. You've got a titanium tip-up carry only pocket clip. It's reversible. You can put it also on the other side, but it's not going to be good for the tip-down carry because you have no options. And then you have this 3.5 inch long blade, which is actually pretty good. Dual tone finish. You can see the belt grind lines on the primary bevel. You have a blacked out spine. Of course, nice jimping, which is not, I mean, on this side is just not protruding, so not that functional, kind of slippery. But here, yeah, absolutely, it works very well. And then you have like a little bit of a thumb ramp, and then the spine goes back. There's just a little amount of chamfering, and then a beautiful swedge, which is showing the grind lines right over here and creates a nice contrast with the blacked out blade. Fantastic harpoon style. And you have this kind of like spanto finish, and you have your edge, like maybe like I would say 30% belly straight edge up to the sharpening choil. Nice plunge grind. You have a flat grind right over here, ZT logo, and on the back you have some pretty, yeah, obtrusive billboarding, if you ask me, because you have the model number, the designer, USA CPM20CV serial number. I mean, you have a lot of things going on which are not needed, in my opinion, but yeah, that's just ZT style. Then you've got these thumb studs, which can be absolutely used to thumb flick open, or I'm not really good at spidey flicking this guy. It's like hard. I can do it with 2 fingers, no problems, but just spidey flick, I still have to master this. I can't do it, but thumb flick all day long. And of course, these guys are gonna act as a double stop pin, like kind of like on where is it, the snafu, got a snafu somewhere. I think I have a snafu. It's right over here. Yeah. So you have the see the thumb stud, which are acting as a stop pin, so that's pretty cool. And nice grind. I mean, I really am a fan of this blade shape, and also I'm a fan of the sound because it's classic ZT sound, like that. See, nice, clacky, clinky, clacky. Yeah, it's pleasant. It's not like something unique, something very distinguishable, but it's a pleasant sound. It's a deep clack. It's yeah, it's resounding and percussive and a little bit on the loud side, but I like it. Also, let's just quickly check the weight on this guy, because there's no skeletonization. I mean, it's a solid chunk of titanium, but it's not that heavy. I mean, it's 4.96 ounces, but for a 3.5 inches long blade, it's borderline okay. I mean, 5 ounces, yeah, it's not lightweight, but still, it feels substantial in the hand. It doesn't feel like too heavy. That's what I mean. What I want to say is that the ergos are just really good. It feels great in the hands, like 2 finger grooves like that. You can't go wrong. It feels great with this divot. There's really no sharp edges. The lock bar is quite easy to release. There's enough room, you see, to take the blade, to close the blade like that. There's jimping on the blade and on the back of the handle, like right over here. So the grip is ensured, like it's not slippery by any means, because look at this texturing going on. This is gonna stick into your hand because of the ergos, because of the grippiness of the scales. It's a solid option and not a slippery one. Super grippy, 100%. Good fit and finish. No gaps, no misalignments. It's well put together, I have to say. There's no rattling when shaken, there's no blade play, there's no lock stick, there's no finger sore as long as you do a light switch. You've got, in this case, yeah, classic XM18 pocket clip, so this much, in this case, gonna be sticking out from your pocket. This guy is running on bearings and deploys pretty fast. There's only one thing that I want to point out. So, like, if you just disengage the lock bar like that, you see, you have there's no Death ball ramp, so you're gonna have this thing like blade hanging, and you have just to remember to disengage the lock bar like at this point, where like the ball overcomes the tang and just sits on the detent ball track. So when you're in this position, you're good to go, and you're gonna enjoy the pretty cool closing action, nice and gliding shot. But if you just disengage it like that, no, the flipper tab is gonna hit your nail, and yeah, the blade is gonna hang, and yeah, sometimes it just overcomes. But if you're like that, you see, it just hangs. So you need to be a little bit lower, so the ball hits the detent ball track, and then you're gonna be good to go. So that's probably the only gripe I have on this guy. You have to do this little trick to enjoy the action, but this guy is running on bearings, so very cool deployment, nice action, absolutely gliding shot. It's tuned by me, but I love it. It's pretty good. Also, detent strength is on the mediums to strong side, so it's an overall well put together knife. Great design by Hinderer. I love the harpoon, I love the blade shape, great ergos, really cool sound. The weight is a little bit maybe a little bit more, a little bit of redesigning of that thing over here, and we're gonna have a pretty perfect knife. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.